We are back again, yes. Vegas Live with Ninon, and I'm Ninon. Ninon de Rosa. How about that? I never usually mention my full name because I really don't feel I have to because it's too long. I have a gentleman with me, Daryl. I understand he used to be in the music business, Daryl. You used to I love your hat.
Thank you.
Look at this hat.
Thank you.
You and I'll be sure. He loves
I'll
his
be sure
hats.
it's actually one of my influences. So that's
Is he an
funny you say
influence
that.
of yours? He's a very good friend of mine.
Really?
Yes.
I grew up on Albie.
Hi, Albie. How you doing?
Hey, Mr. Stewart.
You behaving yourself? No. I love my Albie. He's adorable. So yeah, you are. So he was one of your admirers.
Well, I was one of his admirers.
One of his admirers.
Yeah, he was.
He influenced you.
He influenced me greatly.
Really?
Yes, he did.
So you were a singer?
I started off as a singer in church choir and things like that.
Yeah, we'll do. Church choir, really
typical,
cool.
right?
Yeah, but it's cool.
It is, because that's where you learn the fundamentals. And as a social construct, church is really great for things like that.
And it's a structure too, because you're going up with a religion and a thing, and you're behaving yourself,
Right.
hopefully.
Right.
And then you can have a chance to sing.
Absolutely, because that will be taken away from you if you don't behave ethically or morally. You know.
Oh, so you've learned your lesson.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you learn your lesson in the streets, or did you learn?
A little bit of everywhere, actually.
Yeah, were you a bad boy at one time?
I mean, life has not been a crystal stair. You know, so.
No, well, it hasn't for me either. But
Absolutely.
No,
Define bad.
Define
Don't.
bad. I like that. That's cool. I don't know what bad is. To me, something might be bad. To you, it might not be bad. So,
Right.
to someone is. Anyway, so what are you doing now?
Now, there's a few things that I'm doing. First of all, I work with My Vegas magazine.
My Vegas magazine.
Yes.
I love that magazine.
Mark Schaefer's a good guy.
Yeah, Mark is. Hi, Mark. Another one I know. Mark Schaefer, you've done brilliantly. I love your new Bentley, by the way.
It's pretty
Carpet
nice.
Miner.
It's pretty nice. So yeah, I'm the entertainment writer there. I'm going for an editorship. I started out on the sales floor, selling
really?
advertising,
Yes.
and then worked my way up to actual.
And how did the
writer.
selling advertising go?
Oh, it went great. I got a promotion.
You did? Oh, there you go.
So,
There you go.
by the grace of God, it went wonderfully.
Good, good.
There were, just like with anything else, there's the hiccups.
So do you like the magazine business?
I do. I've
do?
always wanted to be a writer, and this segues back to music.
Yes, yes.
Because that's
writing
the
your
core.
own songs.
That's
and,
right. That's the core. The core process is
Well,
writing.
the core of being an entertainer or being a singer is writing your own music.
Right.
To copy other people is fine too, but to write your own music, the originals,
Right.
is what everybody wants an original out there to reach the
Absolutely.
hit.
Absolutely.
That's one of the challenges out there in the singing industry.
It is, and if you can master being a singer, songwriter, producer, dancer, performer, then.
But isn't, I look at the entertainment business, yes, it's tough. But I think everything is tough. Being a writer is tough. You've got all
Anything
these...
worth having.
Yeah, there you go.
Anything worth having is tough.
Anything worth having is tough. I used to run a magazine. I used to run the California Men's Stylist in Los Angeles with Jay Eisenberg.
Really?
Yeah, so I know all about a magazine. I used to read it and write it and do things on this magazine. And yeah, it was quite a good magazine.
So you understand the intricacies and the
I
dynamics of
understand
it.
what has to be done, and every single word writing has to be correct. There cannot be. It's called blueprint reading. You're
Right.
a blueprint reader. Blueprint reader is, am I right?
You're
Blueprint
right.
reader
You're
is somebody that corrects the whole magazine for spelling, for mistakes, for commas, and the whole bit.
From cover to cover.
Cover to cover, you take care of it. And then, of course, you sell the front cover. You sell the front cover, right? People buy the front cover.
That's what I used to sell.
That's what you used to sell. I always wanted to be on the front cover, but could never afford to buy it.
Well, now we have a different program.
Do you
Since
pay
COVID.
monthly?
Yeah, exactly. Like you said, you know the business.
I used to sell the back cover of the California. I always remember when I sold the back cover. It was, you saw the back cover. That's so great. And I thought, but it's the back cover.
Right. It's still a cover.
But it's a cover. It's
still on a
so
prestigious
you
publication.
want to go into the magazine business? Well, you're in it.
Well, I wanted to go into the get paid and feed my family business. And
What does
I
all
happen to
that
have
entail?
I happen to have the skills that were necessary
Yes.
by the grace of God, and a little hard work on my part.
Yes,
As
of course.
well. And that just, I've been in sales all my life, so that was the opportunity that jumped out at me. When I first came out here last February before last, 2 years almost,
Yes.
I was supposed to be working in market research.
Okay.
That's my trade. I'm behind the scenes.
Yeah, you like being
Market research.
behind.
Or I like selling to you, or selling for you, actually.
Okay. So what are you going to sell me?
Well,
I'm
right now,
going to buy something. I figure out what am I going to buy?
you meaning the royal you, in general, I'm sure you understand. So sales was the thing that
Well, you're attaching yourself to
introduced
people.
me in,
Yes.
into this Las Vegas market.
Yes.
And once I got in and saw the way that they did things, because you never want to go into it thinking that you know how they want it done.
Yes.
Oh, I have all this experience and all this. You don't want to go in there thinking that way. You want to
No,
remain
no,
humble.
no.
And, okay, I know how to do this, but how do you guys do it?
Yes. How do you do it, and how do you want it done, and how do I
Exactly.
follow your path and not my path?
Exactly. Sometimes you have to unlearn things, and that's not an easy process.
No, because one person wants it done this way, and then Mark wants it done another way. So
Right.
you've got
And
to.
I don't ever try to change Mark's mind about it.
Well, I wouldn't, because he's actually very successful. So
Yes.
I don't
Exactly.
think we need to change.
And
his
if there's a
mind.
mistake to be made, then he'll see it.
Oh, he will.
He'll see it.
Yeah,
So,
I'm
I have
quite
faith
sure.
in the leadership.
So what you're doing right now, what is your next step and your next thing you want to do? You said you want to.
Okay, so thank you for asking that, because what I'm doing now is freelancing with my own company, Ascension 360 Business Consultants.
Oh,
So I'm taking everything that I've learned throughout the years
yeah.
and using it to launch other businesses.
So now you're going to help other people with their business to launch them.
Yes, ma'am.
So how have you? Big question. How have you started doing this? How do you approach somebody with that? I mean, how do you get your clients? How do you?
Okay, that's a great question. First of all, you have to know what your specialty is. You have to, just because you can do a lot of things doesn't mean you should do a lot of things.
Doesn't mean say you specialize in them all 100%.
Right, you can't. You specialize in non-specialties, if that's the case.
Yes.
But that's it gives you a sense of direction. It gives you a sense of purpose. It gives you a sense of, okay, I stay within these parameters, then I can become successful.
Yes.
If you just fly off
If
the
you
cuff,
do too many things at one time, even if it's in the same business, you can get lost.
yes, you can become
Totally lost.
easily overwhelmed.
Because you can. I've always said to people, like, stay on that straight line, do that one thing really, really well, and all these other little things will float back in. That they'll be there. So
Everything ancillary to it will come to you.
and it will. Are you finding that? Is it?
Yes.
Are you finding it hard? Number one, are you finding it hard to open your own business? And is this the first business of yours that you've opened?
Great questions.
I know, I'm just very good.
You have been doing this for a while, haven't you?
Little
Okay,
bit.
so yes and no, and yes and no, and I'll explain. So I did not find it easy coming from California, because the business was initially founded in Los Angeles, and I moved out here. So now I have to learn a different market. So
Yeah, it's a different market.
right, and it's not that different. The industry is the same, but the market is different.
Yes.
So having to learn that was a little trial and error, a little trial and error, bumping my
It's
head
life,
a little
though,
bit.
isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you gotta wake up knowing that.
Yeah.
Then COVID.
But you've managed it, right?
Yes, I have.
Have you conquered it yet?
I
Nearly.
would like to think so, but I know I haven't.
Isn't that
And
being honest? That's cool.
I'm good knowing that, because that means there's more to learn.
Because
There's
you've got
more to
plenty
grow.
of room to learn, plenty of room
Right.
to do more, and
Right.
to reach out there.
Absolutely. So, no, it wasn't. Yes, it was for that reason, but it wasn't hard, because if I didn't belong there, I wouldn't be there. You know what I mean? Like I
You
have,
wouldn't even do it.
right. I have confidence in myself. I have
And
confidence.
this is going to be
in-
100% your own business.
Yes,
Oh, isn't that nice?
but I do have a partner that I'm working with now,
Who's your partner?
Leslie LaGuardia from LaGuardia
Yes,
PR.
she's a publisher.
She's a publicist.
I know the woman. She's an amazing woman.
She's a great
She was
woman.
on my show about 4, 5, 6, maybe 2 months ago. I love this. I've known this woman for years, by the way. I've known her a long time.
Yeah.
She's a very sweet woman. Yes, I have.
Yeah, she's
Well, like
the one
most
who,
people, I've known everybody for years. I'm
know.
just very young.
well, who
Started
can
out
argue
young.
with that?
No, don't argue.
I wouldn't try.
But yes, so you're working with her as a partner.
Right,
So
she's the one who introduced me to the Las Vegas scene.
Scene. And it's a different scene.
It is, and you have to be groomed to it. You can't just come in and think that you
You'll take over and
right.
goodbye
That's the
everybody
quickest way
else.
for people to turn their backs on.
It doesn't work that way.
Right.
You have
So-
to make yourself fit in there.
Absolutely.
You got to make people.
Or stay away if you don't.
You know, you got to make people like you. I remember a friend of mine was calling me from Pittsburgh, and they were asking me when I would talk to a client. They said, "When you talk to a new client, what are the first things you kind of do with them?" And I said, "Well, the first thing I want to do is want to make them my friend." I said, "So that's
Absolutely.
the very first thing you do is to get them to
Put
like
your
you."
arm around them.
Well, you can't. You're on the phone, but you can try. But is let them like you because they don't know you, don't know anything about you. So you've got to explain to them who you are, what you are, and get them to like you. So
Okay.
that's half the battle is them to like you.
Absolutely.
Or they go to that other person. You don't want them to go to.
Right. Absolutely. That's the definite truth. So as far as Ascension 360, and I hope you like this, is we're basically a well-rounded approach to growing your business. We believe in exposure, engagement, and conversion for our clients.
Be open for something new.
Absolutely, always. And if I don't know something, I have no problem saying I don't know, but I guarantee you by the end of the day, I'll figure it out. I'll find out.
Yes.
And I'll have,
Because that's your business.
that's my
That's
business.
what you have to do. This is what, if you don't know something about a business, it's coming to you and they say, we need help. What do we do? How do we do it? And then you have to
Go right
find
to
out.
R&D.
And you have to go right to them and you ask them, about their business and ask them their goals. Is that what you do?
Yes, and just like you said, the first thing you do is you want to know, okay, for instance, how do you gauge the success of a marketing campaign? This is one of the questions that I onboard them on, depending on what they come to me for.
Yes.
If they come for marketing, promotions, then that's something that I would ask them. If they
Yes.
come for advertising, do you know the difference between...
What's the difference between marketing and advertising? Same thing, right? No.
Not at all.
No,
Not
see?
at all.
I just
In
learned something.
advertising, the buy is the why. Marketing is what gets you to having something to advertise.
So marketing is putting something more out there. Advertising is putting in as magazines or putting in radio or putting it out there verbally.
Yes.
Whereas
Or visually.
marketing
Or digitally.
Digitally, yes, with all these different things. But marketing is more touch and feel and see.
Also, it's more analytical.
Okay.
Marketing is more about first knowing your market. So your target demographic, you have to know that. Your median age ranges, your median employment, excuse me.
Who are you reaching and what have you got to sell?
Right, exactly. And that's what informs the advertising.
Sounds a bit like the Shark Tank.
It's one of my favorite shows. It sort
They
of
go
is.
in, they want marketing and they want money and they'll give a little percentage.
Right. Then they give this outrageous valuation.
Yeah.
Forgot to say how much debt they're in.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's just a little mistake. Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Right.
So you're enjoying this very much. And do you find that there is a market for that out here for you?
I do, and I'm very thankful for that because, when I came into this, it was like, okay, this is capitalism, right?
Yes.
And what better business to be in America than starting businesses
That's what
or helping
America's all
people
about.
fulfill their dreams,
It seems like only America you can do that. Not
Right.
only America. You can do it in any country you
That's
want,
what
but
Don
it's just
King
harder.
said. Only in America.
Only in America, and it is true. It's only in
Certain
America.
things are
You can do other businesses in other countries and other places. Yes, of course you can, but it's harder.
Much
Here is
harder from what I hear.
Here is we're all spoiled here.
That's
And
what
I'm
they
from
tell me.
England. I'm from England. My mum and dad, we were all in the antique business, so we didn't really need a business. We just went to sales, bought stuff, sold stuff. But then my father knew about all the antiques. That was his business. What year they were, where they were
Right.
from, everything. It's still a process, like
It is.
anything. So isn't anything your business? Is that a process?
Product knowledge
Product knowledge.
goes a long way. As long as you remember that you're the core product when you
Yes.
approach these people and when they approach you for your help.
Yeah, as long as you know what you're doing.
Right.
You can help them.
We don't sell services. We service.
Yes, yes. So you have to know what you're doing, where you're going, and everything else.
Absolutely.
Daryl, how can anybody reach you with this new business and the name of the new business?
The business is Ascension 360 Business Consultants. The website is dreamlaunch360, the number 360 at gmail.com. That's the email. The website is dreamlaunch.com.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay, so everybody start calling and finding out what Daryl's doing, how he's doing, and help him on this journey. It's a journey. You start, you know, you have
Absolutely.
to start. You don't start it with a single step, you'll never start it.
Absolutely.
So it's the single step, the start. And that applies to any of you out there. If you want to start a new business or do something, just go for it. You know, make that single step. Don't keep talking about it. Do it. Because it's amazing. And congratulations.
Less announcements, more demonstrations. That's what I'm going to do for 2022.
Yes, you're going to really delve into it and really get it going. And
Yes.
this is
God
your
willing,
baby.
This is my baby.
There you go. Absolutely. That's amazing. Well, thank you, Daryl.
Thank you for having me. I really
Absolutely,
appreciate it.
absolutely wonderful. Thank you, all my guests today and every day, and all my guests out there, and of course my producer Maria Pureza, and also Amigos Cantina, Taco Cantina. It's an amazing restaurant, and they're always very busy here. I don't know. I've had some of the food. All I have is these little taco things. I don't know. I think I should venture into something else because they do have great food here. They have buffets and everything down here. It's absolutely amazing. Thank you to my audience out there. Without you, believe it or not, nothing happens. So thank you for all your likes and all your followers and all your Roku views, all your YouTube views and all your subscriptions and everything in abundance is absolutely amazing. Thank you so much. We shall be back for our next shows soon. Take care.